In our online media training, we look at what we call the 3 Ps. The planning that you must do in advance of a media interview, whether you've got 5 minutes or 5 days of planning time, there are certain things you need to consider in that planning phase if you're to stand any chance of being in control of the second of the 3 Ps that stands for the interview process. It's your reputation that's on the line when you give a media interview, and why wouldn't you want to manage that process to your advantage? In most cases, to your advantage means maximizing the positives. It's a promotional interview. You're on the front foot. You're communicating something really positive on behalf of you and your organization. But you also, and especially, want to be in control of interviews where maybe something negative has happened. You're on the back foot. You're on the defensive. In all cases, interviewees should be controlling the interview process, not interviewers. And we'll look at how you, in a very practical way, we'll look at how you can control the interview process. And then the third of the 3 Ps stands for the promotional techniques that you should be using during an interview to make the really important bits, your key messages, stand out. Using techniques such as repetition. If you've got an important point to make, don't make it once. It goes right over people's heads, past their eyes, past their ears. Say something twice and it begins to knock at the audience's eardrums. They know there's something in it. Say it 3 times. Magically, it gets up the neural pathways into the brain matter where you really want your messages to be for the longer term. So we look at promotional techniques. And we're able to use props. What is a pack of playing cards? What have luggage labels? What have old school audio tapes got to do with media training? Well, actually, I would submit they've actually got quite a lot to do with media training. So this session is fun, it's interactive, and it's not at all theoretical. It's based in theory, of course, but it's highly practical, it's highly hands-on, and therefore it is highly effective. And I'm going to let you into a little secret. Our media training has, as a centerpiece, a planning matrix. That matrix may sound rather grand and lofty, but when all's said and done, it's just a piece of paper organized into 3 separate columns that can really help you clearly think about what key messages you want to communicate, how you might evidence those key messages using some carefully selected facts and figures that talk to people's brains, because we are, of course, partly rational creatures, but we're not just rational creatures, banging my heart here, we're also emotional beings. So how can you engage your audience in a media interview at that heart level, at that emotional level? Column 3 of the matrix, I won't tell you any more, there's an air of mystery about it, will help you engage audiences at that emotional level. In our online training studio, at the push of a button, we can share slides with you. And because we think eye contact is really important in training, we can pop ourselves up in the corner of your screen and make sure that when you're watching those slides and I'm speaking to them, the trainer's speaking to them, the eye contact is maintained. We can even change sides. We can even move down to the bottom right-hand corner or even to the bottom left-hand corner. So we've got ways of keeping you really engaged. And it's not just about high tech. We've also got some low-tech stuff in the office here. We believe that it's about making the best use of the technology, whether that's old school or high-tech new stuff, a blended learning environment where the learning outcomes aren't compromised one bit by the training being online rather than it was for 25 years of ACM's training history face-to-face.